Welcome back, YouTubers. Welcome back to another edition of California Corrupt Child Services. Now, when we last left off, our villain, portrayed by me, had promised our hero, Deborah, that he was going to send her his packet of lies and deceit to prove his name and his innocence. What happens next? Stay tuned. Welcome back, YouTubers. Sorry about that. I'm bored. Had to do something. Now, after looking at the last video with me reading a letter, I wasn't too happy with it. Also, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. This is going to go on forever. I know. But what I'm going to do is, if you haven't seen the last couple videos, then you're not really going to understand this one. What I'm going to do here is, it's called The Breakdown. Yeah. I'm going to kind of briefly tell you what I said in the letter. I'm not going to show you all the stuff, but there's some interesting things in my letter back to her. It says, Deborah, you will find I have sent you a large amount of paperwork to prove that I have indeed paid all of the child support that I should have paid. Excuse me, old man here. Let me get my reading glasses. What I'm about to do is give you a Reader's Digest version of what has become a lifelong nightmare. After reviewing some of the court documents that I've sent you, you may get an idea of what I've been going through. All I wanted to do was divorce the woman I was married to and share custody of our son. But because of that, I've been fighting a battle to prove that I'm not the bad guy here. One of the problems is that this is 3 different cases, not just one. And what I've found over my years is that each case has 3 things in common. My name, my ex-wife's name, and the Department of Children's Services. Yes, one way or another, my ex-wife was able to get them involved in each case. But she's made a life out of living off the government. And over the years, when I lived in Los Angeles, trying to find the correct paperwork for each case was very hard. The files kept moving around, and because of this, there's paperwork in each file for different cases. But what I could find may help my case with you. I have broken it down into different sections. I start off with my declaration filed in front of Judge Pro Tem James B. Copeland. This should give you a brief explanation of what you're about to see. Now, this is something that I'll be reading in another video. Where you show no payments I received, I present either canceled checks or bank statements. Unfortunately, back then, some of the banks I dealt with did not return hard checks, and trying to find them would be impossible due to the age or the fact that the banks are no longer around. Now, there are some periods that I have admitted that I did not make payments, and did that in court every time with a reason. The child was in foster care or the child lived with me. And all parties were okay with it. And I dare anyone to show any court paperwork before 1994 about me not making child support payments. We were in court at least 6 to 8 times a year from 1986 until 1993. And it was only after I gained full custody of my son did my ex-wife file a complaint. There are also a few months where I could not find proof, but you have to remember, we're going back sometimes over 20 years. And actually, I'm lucky to have the paperwork I do have. I almost lost it all thanks to the DCS. Which brings me to my next question. How do I get my driver's license back? See, sometime in late 2000, DCS had my license suspended, and believe it or not, no one contacted me. Not DCS, not the Department of Motor Vehicles. I found out early in 2001 while on vacation in Nashville, Tennessee. I was stopped at a sobriety checkpoint. They told me my license was suspended. I was lucky as they let my girlfriend take over the wheel. But then I was stuck. I was in Nashville with my car and no way to get back to Los Angeles. So because of this, I lost my job, which didn't really matter as I drove buses for a living. So I couldn't. I had no license. I lost my apartment, and my son, the one DCS is doing all this for, well, he became homeless as his mother was off on one of her many disappearing acts. Luckily, my son and a neighbor grabbed some of my personal stuff, this paperwork, and some clothes, but everything else was lost. So again, how do I get my suspension lifted? Also, I'd like to request a full accounting of what has been paid or taken from the July of 2000 to the present. Now, I know I'm rambled on a bit here, but truly this has been one long nightmare. It took me 2 years to fight one battle with her. It took me 7 years to fight another legal battle she put me in. And now I spent 15 years of my life fighting this one. And all I wanted to do was divorce her and share custody of our son. Instead, I end up fighting legal battles for the next 25 years. All started by her. I guess I know what she meant on August 7th, 1986, 2 minutes after winning joint custody of our son in an elevator in front of both of our attorneys, when she turned to me and said, "I'm going to make your life a living hell." And I signed it. And you know what? It has been a living hell. Okay, believe it or not, I've already gotten the answer. And that's going to be the next video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.